This session is being recorded now. You will, of course, get video recordings of this session. You will be able to go through the video recording of the session so that you can go through the concepts again as and when you require. There is a support number on your screen. Please note down this support number if you don't have this support number. There are people available on this number to take care of your technical challenges. Say, for example, you are not able to log in, you are automatically getting logged out, something like this is happening with you. You can call this number. Of course, at the end of the session, I will be sharing a feedback link with you and your tasks are available on this link. So, we have discussed introduction to web analytics. We have seen the definition of web analytics, and now what we want to see is we want to see some of the key concepts or key terminologies in web analytics. So guys, as I said, these are key concepts or important terms in web analytics. I'm not saying these are the important terms in Google Analytics only. These are key terms in web analytics. So even if you switch the tool, like you move from Adobe Analytics to Google Analytics, these terms will still carry the same meaning. Tomorrow you move from Google Analytics to TLIF to Splunk to Kissmetrics, anywhere. These terms will be common across. So to discuss these terms, I'm going to fetch in a presentation and one by one we will start discussing these terms. So guys, first thing that we all need to understand is what is a user or who is a visitor. So we are going to use Google Analytics, and when two webmasters meet, they are going to use words like, hey, yesterday my user count was very low, or yesterday my visitor count was very low, but today it seems things are in control. So what is a user? Who is a visitor? Who is user? Who is a visitor? So any person who visits your website is a visitor. Any user who visits your website is a user. Technically, it's a browser. Okay, any browser that visits your website, any browser who visits your website is called as a user or a visitor. Now, how does Google Analytics understand that a new person has come and visited your website? How will Google Analytics understand that? So each user will get a unique ID assigned to him, and that ID is called as client ID. No, Kristen, you have not. We were waiting for you. Client ID. So when you visit a website, let's say for example, I visit digitalvidya.com, Google Analytics assigns me a client ID. It's a randomly generated set of numbers, and Google Analytics will assign it to me, and it is stored in cookie. So Google Analytics creates a client ID and it stores that client ID in a cookie, so that when you visit the same website next time, what Google Analytics does is Google Analytics first checks the cookie. Hey, whether client ID is present or not. If it says yes, client ID is present, then Google Analytics will continue to use the same client ID. If the client ID is not present, that means Google Analytics will understand, hey, this user has never visited my website. Why? Because if he had, there would be a client ID present. So now there is no client ID. Let me create one client ID and drop a cookie. So if a client ID is present, you are a repeating visitor. If client ID is not there, you are a new visitor to website. And based on the client IDs, you will be identified that, okay, the same person X is visiting my website again. Now, during maintenance, or some people have habit, they will delete their cookies after say every week or every day. If you delete your cookies and you visit digitalvidya.com again, then you will get a new client ID assigned. You will not be using, or Google Analytics will not be using the same client ID. So you will become a new user for the website. Pallavi, I guess I just answered your question. Great. So this is a user or a visitor. Anyone who visits your website is your user. Hit. The next term that we want to understand is hit. So I open digitalvidya.com, I open ashishkulkarni.net, I open flipkart.com. So when I open the website, a request is sent to Google Analytics server. Everyone agrees to this? That whenever I open the website, script is executed, a request is sent to Google Analytics server. Now, whenever this request is sent to Google Analytics server, I will say a hit was made. Whenever a request is sent to Google Analytics server, we call it a hit. Request sent to Google server. I open the home page, hit. A hit is made to Google Analytics server. I refresh the home page, then again it is a hit because I refresh the page. That means I have reloaded the analytics script and analytics script has sent a page view again. Okay. Okay, I see a question. What if the same user log in from this different system? If the same user logs in from different system and you are using just the basic script provided by Google Analytics, Google Analytics will still consider it as a different user. But some advanced techniques, and using those techniques, you can understand that okay, it's flipkart.com and the user is Ashish123. He's logging into Flipkart using username Ashish123. So Flipkart will start telling people, Google Analytics, say, don't use your client ID, replace that client ID with my Flipkart login name. Whenever user logs in, take the user ID, don't take the client ID. So that even if I'm on my mobile and on my laptop, in both the cases, I am going to use Ashish123 to log into the system. Using that, Google Analytics will be able to understand, hey, this is the same guy because the user ID is same across the devices. Clear, Ankur? Good. So we discussed two things, user or a visitor and a hit. Session or a visit, I will come back to this point towards the end. The next point I want to discuss is cookies. What are cookies? Do you guys know what are cookies? Someone asked question, what if the user deletes the cookies? I said Google Analytics stores the value in the cookie. So cookie is nothing but a small file with some data in it. Typically, cookies are the size of the cookies is in kilobytes. Only some small data is kept in the cookie, like, hey, is user authenticated? Was the login successful? Yes, no. What in Google Analytics case, what's the client ID? Or let's say, for example, let's take another example which will make you understand what the cookie is all about. Suppose I have a multi-language website. I offer content in English, and Hindi. So when you visit my website, what will happen? For the first time when you visit, website will ask you, hey, we offer content in two languages. Which language would you like to see the content in? You choose Hindi, then the website starts showing you data in Hindi. Next time, it doesn't ask you whether English or Hindi. Why? Because your language preference is stored in the cookie, and whenever you try and access the web page, website will check the language preference in the cookie. Okay, preference is Hindi, it will produce the content in Hindi and will show you. But if you delete the cookies, then again website will see, okay, the content is missing, rather the cookie is missing, which gives me the content language preferred. Let me ask user again. It will again produce the pop-up. Which language do you want to see the content in? Hindi? Okay. Here is your language, Hindi. The content is produced in Hindi and shown to you. These are cookies. Clear with the cookies? Cookies don't track IP addresses. That's a false information. You don't need cookie to track the IP. So don't believe on that. What if we ignore the cookie request? Okay, so what if user blocks the cookies? User says, hey, I don't want any cookies. Don't create any cookies for me. Google Analytics will not be able to drop the client ID. So Google Analytics will not be able to understand, okay, a user with client ID A is accessing homepage. Now the same fellow is accessing about us page, same fellow is accessing contact us page. That means this is the same guy, same visit. I need to mark this as same person, same visit, etc. But what if you are not able to drop the cookie? In that case, the fallback mechanism is Google Analytics will use your IP address. That okay, so the visit from same IP address, then it will tie your all data based on the IP address. So first, it's cookie. In some cases, if it is not able to drop the cookie, read the cookie, then the fallback mechanism is IP address. Using cookies, you can drop the information. So like say for example, you can drop the location information in cookie and store it. But you cookies will not tell you location. Cookies don't tell you anything unless and until the value is written in it. Cookies are very dumb. They can just they are like blank pages. You have to write something on it to read back. They are not smart computers that they can calculate something and tell you. So you have to write value, location value, drop it, and then read from it. Clear everyone with the cookies? Anyone have doubt? Okay, so the next thing that I want to discuss is traffic. Means we can't ignore tracking at all. I didn't understood your question, Ankur. What tracking are you talking about here? Google tracking our data. Okay. If website has analytics code, it will track. But there are mechanisms using which you can block tracking. You can tell Google don't track me. So there are Chrome extensions available which will block your Google Analytics. You can consider using those Chrome extensions. They can block Google Analytics from, they actually block data flowing back to Google server. So you can do that. You don't have to create client ID, Vivek, or anyone here. Don't confuse that you have to create something. Google will do everything on its own. You just have to copy paste the script, in your website. Your job is done. Rest Google will take care of it. If it doesn't see, if that I'm not able to drop the client IDs cookies, it will automatically switch to fallback mechanism. You don't have to worry about it. We don't need cookies to track, but cookies help in proper tracking. IP address, a user can change the IP address. Like most of us here, they don't pay for a static IP address. So if you need a static IP address, that means the IP address that doesn't change, you need to pay. So when you switch on and switch off your router, your IP address changes. When there is a power failure and people reconnect, there is change in IP address. Yes, VPN users change in IP address. So for proper tracking, cookies will help, but they are not mandatory, but they increase the efficiency. Clear, Vivek? That's a different discussion, Vivek. Device ID and all that cases. It's not necessary for tracking. As I said, they improve the tracking. Good. So discussion, the next thing that I want to discuss is what is traffic. I want to discuss what is traffic. Any guess, guys, what is traffic? Amount of visitors, audience coming to. Good. So most of the time, the term itself will explain what exactly it means. So traffic is nothing but total number of visits that your website get. Pretty simple, right? I'm not spending a lot of time on it. But there are different types of traffic. Let's try and understand what are those different types of traffics. So the first one is paid traffic. So any traffic for which you are paying is called as a paid traffic. Say, for example, you are purchasing that traffic. You are running campaigns. You are running paid campaigns. You pay for it. You bought that user. We call that traffic a paid traffic. If you have paid for that visitor, it is called as paid traffic. Opposite of that is organic traffic. What is organic traffic? You don't pay for this traffic. I go to google.com, I search buy Samsung mobile online, I click on Amazon, I click on Flipkart link, and I visit Flipkart. So in that case, I'm is Flipkart paying for me? Is Amazon paying for me? No. Google is sending that traffic to Samsung or Amazon or Flipkart for free. So let's take this example. Buy Samsung mobile online. There are some sponsored listing on the top. If I click here and I go visit the website, I am paid traffic. Here you will see it's an ad. If I click here, I am paid user or paid. I will be a part of paid traffic. But here, if you see, there is no ad mentioned here. That means if I click here and visit flipkart.com, I will become part of organic. So because of your SEO efforts, you are listed on the front page of Google, second page, third page of Google, and people click on that link, visit your website. It is called as organic traffic. Then we have something called as direct traffic also. Now, in previous case, what I did, I clicked on a link in Google. And remember, organic traffic doesn't mean only Google, any search engine. Visitors who come to your website from unpaid, organic, or natural search engine results. It can be Bing, it can be Yahoo, it can be DuckDuckGo, any search engine. But majority of the times, user will come via Google. Now, what if I open the browser, then I don't go Google, I don't go anywhere. I just go here and I type flipkart.com and I open the Flipkart. So people, those type in the website URL in the address bar and visit your website. Such kind of traffic is called as direct traffic. Or they use a bookmark to visit your website. Such users or such traffic is called as direct traffic. So direct traffic means there is no referral information. These are direct traffic. Then we have social media traffic. I don't think so. We even need to spend some time on it. Traffic that comes from social media websites is called as social media traffic. Then referral traffic. It can be referral visitors or social media visitors, social media sessions. So, but the meaning remains the same. Referral traffic. What is, if you understand the meaning of this term referral, you will understand what is a referral traffic is. So, what is referral traffic? Say for example, Varun today takes class of Digital Vidya and he then goes out to his friends and says, hey, I like Digital Vidya, you can consider it. So now Varun's friend come to Digital Vidya's office and he says, Varun has referred me and I would like to take admission. That means that friend was referred by Varun. So similarly, online visitors can also be referred by someone else. Suppose I write a blog post that says top courses on Google Analytics and I mention Digital Vidya and I say click here to visit Digital Vidya. Person clicks on that link and visits digitalvidya.com. So what is happening here? Then ashishkulkarni.net is referring traffic to digitalvidya.com. So visitors coming from other websites is called as referral traffic. But you might also say, okay, if someone clicks on link in a Facebook post and visits my website, will that not be a referral traffic? Because it's being sent by another website called as facebook.com. The answer is no, because there are set rules already that if the traffic is coming from facebook.com, club it under social media traffic. Google has already recognized Facebook as social media channel, and if the referral source is Facebook, user will get bucketed under this list, social media, and not the referral. Okay, so don't get confused. That is technically still a referral traffic, but since we already know Facebook is social media, it will get bucketed under the social media traffic. But ashishkulkarni.net, it doesn't fall in any of these buckets. So I am a referral traffic. So this is the referral traffic. Now I see there are few questions in the chat box. I will take those questions and then we can move on to the next part of the discussion. Can you please again explain the difference between organic and direct traffic? Because both come from search engine only. No, Akshay. What is direct traffic? I will repeat again. So if you understand what is a direct traffic, you will recognize direct traffic and organic traffic are no way associated. Both come from search engine only. That means you understand organic traffic comes from search engine. So I will tell you what is direct. It will answer your question. If I go to browser and just type www.economic times, let's not take such a lengthy URL. Let's say I visit snapdeal.com. I am now a direct visitor. Why? Because I typed in the URL in the address bar and hit the enter button, and I am visiting the snapdeal.com. So any person who is typing in your domain name, who is typing in your URL in the address bar and visiting your website is called as direct visitor. Whereas people clicking on the search engine links and coming to your websites are called as organic. So that's the difference. Hence, both don't come from search engine. Varun question was that can also be called as organic traffic in a way, indirect way. Varun, I hope I have answered your question. Please give an example of referral traffic. Okay. Example, blog post. They are pretty easy and most commonly understood examples, or most commonly seen examples, I should say. Let me see if I have written any blog post that I can show you. But just imagine any product review website you take. They will always say, okay, buy XYZ here. So when they say buy XYZ here, you click on that link, you go to that website. It is example of referral traffic. Someone is suggesting something and you can click on the link, go ahead, buy it. Clear? I'm trying to search a link if I can show you something. Affiliate, yes, but not necessarily every time it will be affiliate. Like if I write a blog post that top digital marketing institutes and I refer, or I'm giving a link to Digital Vidya, I'm not affiliate. I'm just writing a blog post. But affiliates, yes, they can still do that. So let's take this example. This is a very popular website, cosmopolitan.com. Now, while reading the article, you will see that they have these things embedded in it. The products, whatever product they talk about, they have embedded it. This is affiliate marketing. Of course, if you click on shop now, they get paid for it. But what if it's not affiliate links? Means I can just simply click on shop now, go to Amazon and purchase it. I am referring traffic to Amazon, and that kind of traffic will be called as a referral traffic sent by cosmopolitan.com. Clear? Any other questions, guys? Yes, Niyati, referral traffic can come from influencer, non-influencer, anyone. Okay, so let's jump on to the next set of discussion, or next terms I should say. Time on site. Pretty easy to understand, but please remember one thing: time on site is always provided as an average. The average length of time a visitor spends accessing your website in a given date range or in a given time period is called as time on site. So say for example, I get 100 visits a day, 1 to 100. My average website or average time on site will be 3 minutes 32 seconds. This is my average time on site. Google will tell you what's the average time spent on the website. It will tell you 3 minutes 32 seconds. But that doesn't mean every person has spent 3 minutes 32 seconds. It's an average. Some people might have spent 5 seconds only, while others might have spent 15 minutes in on the website. So when Google takes average of all the users, the answer is 332, and it will tell you on an average people spend 3 minutes 32 seconds on your website or on a particular page in a given time period. That's time on site. The next one is page views. Again, pretty easy to understand. The number of pages a user sees or user looks. Now this is page views. You won't get number for whole of the website. You will get, okay, sum total of page views is 15,621 or something like that. That means 15,000 times your pages were seen on the website. Then if you have 10 page website, you will see that home page 8,000 times, about us page 2,000 times, so on, so forth. So as I told you already, when I go to flipkart.com homepage, I'm sending one page view for homepage. If I refresh the page, I'm sending page view number 2. If I refresh the page again, it is page view number 3. So the page remains the same, but the page view count can increase. Okay, keep this in mind. Do not get confused. I refresh, the page view count will go up. In a given period of time, Varun, say for example, when I choose the date range today, the average time on the website is for people who have visited my website today. If I change the date range to 30 days, it will be average of those 30 days. Whatever date range you select, it will show you average of that given time period. Next thing is bounce rate. Again, let's understand what is bounce. Then we will be able to understand what is the rate of that bounce. That means, say for example, I have my own web. Excuse me. I have my own website, ashishkulkarni.net. So you person or any people can come to this website, see the home page, and then you will say, oh my god, there is nothing on this website. It is just a simple website. There is nothing more I can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the session like I just did. I closed it. So what you did, you came to my website, you came to any page of my website, you just browse through it up, down, vertically. You went through the content of that page and you did nothing else. You just closed it. You didn't move to the about page. You didn't move to the blog post. You didn't read through different blogs which are published there. You just closed it. So, any person who comes to your website, looks at only one page and disappears, he does nothing, is called as a bounced user. If out of 100, 33 people do nothing, they just look at one single page. It can be any page, not necessarily home page. They look at only one page, do nothing, disappear. Then I will say my bounce rate is 33% because 33 percentage of people don't do anything. So technical language, single hit sessions. There is no hit 2 because I just looked at home page, I disappeared. I gave only one hit to Google Analytics. I'm a bounced user. So this is bounce, and the percentage of people out of 100, if 33 people do like that, I will say my bounce rate is 33%. Now, there are scenarios in which a bounce rate can be 100% also. So what should be your bounce rate? If you are a website like timesofindia.com, suppose timesofindia.com, they have thousands of articles. Timesofindia.com would never like that a user comes, just looks at my home page or any page and disappears. Why? Because I have hundreds of other stories that he can go through. So for a content heavy website, you would try to achieve a low bounce rate. And I don't believe there is any ideal bounce rate. 30% is okay. 30 to 40% I would say is okay. So, excuse me. But imagine I'm a plumber and someone helped me to build a website, and that website is nothing but hireme.com. What it has a banner on the top. It has a banner on the top. Let's say this is the website. Some banner is there, then some information is there, and I can scroll down, and that's it. My website ends. It is a single page website. At the end, what I have, please call me on XYZ mobile number. I offer my services in East Bangalore, this particular area. There is no about page, there is no contact page. That means I cannot move to any other page. That's it. It's a single page website. My bounce rate will always be 100% unless and until someone wants to refresh my page. So in that case, is 100% bounce rate bad? No, it is not bad because there is no page 2 available. But for timesofindia.com, if bounce rate is 100%, it is bad because there are n number of other pages which are available, and Times of India also is heavily promoting them. It has after article, okay, now read this. On the right hand side, they have linked to other articles. On the top, they have linked to other articles. They are trying to move you between the articles. So based on the website type, you have to determine whether the bounce rate that you have is good or not. But why I discuss this, there will be scenarios in which the bounce rate will be 100%. You don't have to worry because there was no page 2 for you to access. Pallavi has a question. My webmaster told me that 60% bounce rate is okay for a technical website which is informative. Is that true? I would not say that is true, or I will not say that is false. It is based on his assumption, based on his experience. But if I have a bounce rate of 60%, I will definitely take efforts to reduce it. So imagine 60% of people don't do anything on your website. They just come, read, and go. But again, it depends what kind of website is it. Okay, keep that in mind always. What if a user clicks on a content of website? Does it count on bounce rate? So let's say for example, I just come here and I say, okay, join over 6,000, and I do nothing. I just close the session. Is that what your question is? Ankur, was that your question? If I click anywhere, if I click, just say for example, I just click on this blank space. I'm clicking, 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 but nothing is happening. Unless and until another hit is sent to Google Analytics server, it will be considered as a bounced user. So if I click on this banner, if I click on this product, I open another page, then I'm not a bounced user. But unnecessary, I'm just clicking anywhere. It is not opening anything. It is not sending another hit to Google server. I'm a bounced user. There is no time limit. User can come and disappear as soon as possible. He is a bounced user. Okay, let me open the presentation again. Let's see if we have covered everything. Yes, we covered these terms. We covered cookie, time on site, page view we covered. Okay, let's discuss this for a minute and then we will move on to discussing the sessions part. So here you will see that the number of users is always less than the number of sessions, which is always less than the number of page views. Why is this? Say for example, I visit timesofindia.com. Timesofindia.com. I visit timesofindia.com in the morning. I visit timesofindia.com in the evening. In morning, I read 3 news stories. In evening, I read another 3 stories. So what is happening here? Now, since I have the same client ID, one that was generated in the morning, the same client ID will be used in the evening. That means Google now knows that, hey, this is the same guy who came in the morning. Okay, so how many users here? I'm still only one user. How many page views I am giving? I'm giving 6 page views. 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. Total page views 6 sessions. We haven't discussed it. We are going to discuss it. But how many sessions I am giving? I am giving 2 sessions. First session was in the morning. Second session was in the evening. So here you will see the number of user is less than the number of session. Number of sessions is less than the page view. That is exactly why for most of the websites you will see the same proportion. You will see that the user count is less than visit count because visitors give or unique visitor gives often visits and visitors give more page views. So you will see the number is always in this fashion. Users less than sessions, sessions less than page views. Yes, Saranya, you are right. Top channels. This is important for you to understand that. Now, based on all the terms that we have understood here, paid, organic, direct, social, referral, Google Analytics is generating a report for us called as the channel report. Now, I might be getting 12,000 users visiting my website every day. I can't just be happy that, okay, I'm getting 12,000 visitors a day. My job is done. I cannot be just that happy and leave all of my job and live a happy life. Now I have to further analyze. Okay, I am getting 12,000 users per day. Now these users will be coming from different channels to my website. Some of them will be coming from search engines. Some of them will be coming because of the email newsletter that I send. Some of them will be coming because of the social media team that I have. They are heavily promoting my content on social media, and I have a budget of 3,000 rupees a day that I'm spending on ads. Some of the users will be coming via the paid advertisements. Now I have to split this 12,000 traffic in different bucket. Google does that for me. Google will be producing a report for me, but I need to understand that report. To understand that report, these terminologies are important. Hence, I was giving attention on these terms that because of if you understand these terms, the channel report will become very easy for you to understand. And channel report is the report which you will be accessing on Google Analytics on day-to-day basis for sure. So what does channel report tell you? It will show you a pie chart, and that pie chart will show you, like the pie chart always tells you, the percentage. Now using this pie chart you can quickly understand that there is a channel which is taking a majority of portion, which is in blue. Now what does this blue mean? Organic search. That means 55% of my users are coming to my website via organic search. That means people are searching for something, they are getting my link on the search engines, they are clicking on it, and they are visiting my websites. And there are 55 percentage users who are doing that. The next 26 percentage of traffic is via paid, followed by social, referral, direct, and email. Direct and email is negligible here. I can't even see them in the pie chart. This is important. This is very important because if you work with a big organization, they will have separate teams or separate agencies hired for each task. You will have a team for SEO. You will have a team who does the PPC. SEO team might be sitting in Germany. Paid search might be sitting in USA. Social might be sitting in India. Okay. But as a manager, you want to see how each of them are doing. You simply go to this report. This pie chart will tell you SEO team is doing good, paid search is doing good. Because if you combine 80% of traffic is because of these two teams, paid and organic. The rest of the traffic is divided amongst other. Now, what if I have hired agencies? I'm paying my search agency 50,000 rupees a month. I'm paying my social agency another 50,000 rupees a month. Now, based on this report, I can clearly say that my 50,000 spent on SEO agency is like really nice spent. But the 50,000 that I'm spending on social, hey, I will tell them, buddy, you need to work hard. You are just 9% of my traffic, but still you charge me same as the other agency who is responsible for 55% of my traffic. So you need to really improve on your work. That's the importance of the top channel report. So please again spend some time on those key terminologies which we have discussed. Please ensure that you are clear with those terms. If you are not, please go through the video recordings or reach out to me. I will be happy to help you. We have discussed the bounce rate. Okay, I think we have discussed everything. We can safely jump back to sessions discussion. But meanwhile, I will check the chat box now to see if there are any open questions. If the user navigates on the website for 2 minutes but does not take the desired action, is that a bounced user? That's the question. Here, Amulya, you are saying does not take the desired action. Your desired action could be he filling out a contact us form. But user comes visit your home page. He goes to about us page. He goes to contact us page. He just reads the contact info but never fills out the contact us form. Is he a bounced user? No, because user moved from one page to another page. He is not bounced user. User who just visit any single page on your website does nothing. When I say does nothing, it means he just I can spend 5 minutes reading an article. I can spend 10 minutes reading a blog post. but I never moved from one blog post to another blog post. I'm a bounced user. I never gave another hit to Google Analytics server. I'm a bounced user. That does not mean whether I'm taking a desired action or not. If I'm moving along the pages, if I'm navigating, I'm not a bounced user. Can we see this chart in our analytics account? Yes, you will. And that's the screenshot from one of the analytics account. How do you get referral traffic? Who refers to you? Is it same as share on Facebook and so on? Yes. Like someone said, influencer campaign. You can ask influencers to write blog post about you. If my blog had like say for example 50,000 users a month, Digital Vidya can approach me and say, hey, take this 5,000, write a blog post about me. Or my product is so nice that everyone wants to talk about it, wants to write about it. They write about it, I get referral traffic. How can you know whether a user read another one or not? If he moves or if he looks at another blog post, if he looks at another news story, he will click on it and the next page will be loaded. When the next page loads, Google Analytics sends another image request. So now Google knows, okay, this is guy who is accessing page number 2 on my website. And that's how I will know if user is moving across the pages or not. Is that clear, Ankur? Good questions, guys. Please feel free to ask me question. I will always have time to answer your questions. Okay, no more questions are flowing in. Let's try and understand what are session. So DB will put link on my site, on their site, and I get referral traffic. If DB puts a link, people are reading that post, people are reading that page content, and they find it interesting and they click on it, then you will get a referral visit. Backlinks is just a link, not necessary someone will have to click on it. That's a technical stuff that yes, there is a link pointing to your website. But if I click on it, I visit it, then and only then I'm a referral visit. Okay, thank you guys. Now let's jump on to our discussion. I will just take this thing out so that we can use the notepad file. What is a session? I will put a definition here. Let's see if we can understand it. A visit is an interaction between a browser and a website. A session from a user is a sum total of that user's collective interaction with the website. Are we guys clear here? Did you guys understood anything? A session from a user is a sum total of that user's collective interaction with a website. If you have understood, well and good. If you haven't, I am here to explain this. Now, we took the example of timesofindia.com earlier. Let's continue with that. I visit home page. Let's not give timestamp yet, but I visit home page. Then I visit news story 1, news story 2, news story 3, and again home page. This is my morning visit. Then again I have an evening, maybe same stuff I do in the evening, but different stories. So this is my visit. What is session? A session, here I will say user gave me one session that had 5 page views. So when I combine all the activities of user together, it forms one session. So a session can have multiple page views. A session can have multiple activities, and when we combine these together, we form a single session. Clear with that? Now what I'm going to say, I'm not going to say that user gave me 5 page views in the morning, 5 page views in the evening. But I'm going to say now user gave me one session in the morning, one session in the evening. Now that session, if I go and dig details, will tell me morning session gave me 5 page views, evening session gave me another 5 page views. This is session. Now I believe you will understand what is meaning of sum total of that users collective interactions with a website. Are everyone clear with what is session? If you are not clear, feel free to say no. When I ask you, are you clear? Yes is a valid answer. No is also equally valid answer. So everyone clear with what is session? Okay, I see all the yes. What if a user closed browser and then visit again? Yes, Ankur, we will discuss that scenario. So now here I'm telling you that user gave me two sessions, one in the morning, one in the evening. So I'm saying user gave me two sessions. Why am I saying two sessions? Why is this not still a single session with some gap, like gap of 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours in it? Why it cannot be a single session? Because user is visiting in same day. Now, there are three different conditions which Google takes into consideration and says that your session 1 has expired and whatever activities you do now will be part of session number 2. There are three different conditions, and now if we understand these three different conditions, some of the questions or all of the questions which are open in the chat box will be taken care of. I'm putting everyone on mute. If you want to use microphone, let me know. I can unmute you so that you can ask your question over voice. As I told you, there are three different conditions when a session expires, and Google says that okay, whatever your next activities, they will be part of session 2. Now, what is the first condition using which your session expires? The first one is 30 minutes of inactivity. 30 minutes of inactivity. That means you visit home page, story, story 2, story 3, and you visit home page again and you go inactive. That means there is no activity on the website. The next hit that comes to Google server, there is a gap of 30 minutes. The last homepage visit was at 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and your next hit comes at 5:30 p.m. in the evening. there is a gap of 30 minutes and more. That means Google will consider it as your visit or rather session number 2 and not session number 1. Now, because there is a gap of 30 minutes, because there is 30 minutes of inactivity, I can safely say you gave me two sessions, one in the morning, one in the evening. Clear with 30 minutes of inactivity? What if I'm working in a different tab? So you have opened timesofindia.com in tab 1 and in tab 2 you are working on flipkart.com. Are you sending any hit to timesofindia.com for 1 hour say? Because you are working on Flipkart, you are inactive on timesofindia.com. You will form another session. The next thing or the next condition I should say is midnight. What happens in the midnight? What happens in the midnight apart from ghosts coming? Yeah, of course, session ends, but why? Wild case, new date. Correct. The date changes, the new day starts in the midnight. So 1st January to 2nd January, transition happens at 12 in the night. So that is why your session expires in the midnight. Why is it important to end the session in the midnight? Because you will get a report that says on the 1st of January you had 300 sessions. On the 2nd of January you had 391 sessions. On the 3rd of January you had 450 sessions. Now imagine I'm not ending the sessions in the midnight. There will be people who starts accessing website at 11:58 p.m. and leave your website at 12:10 a.m. Where will you put these guys? That will be a question. Your reports will not be accurate. Hence, it is important for you, or rather for Google Analytics, to end the session at midnight. So, for a given example, a person gave me two sessions, one on the 1st Jan, second on the 2nd January. The midnight ended his session. Technically, we have two sessions. Now, the third is when the source changes. What is a source and when it changes? So now again this discussion comes handy. The discussion that we had here, paid, organic, direct, etc. This is important. Again, it will play some role here for better understanding. Source is not client ID. Now suppose, let's take Flipkart. In the morning, I visit flipkart.com by simply typing in flipkart.com in the browser and I hit the enter button. So my source is direct here. Why? Because I typed flipkart.com in the browser and I hit the enter button. I visit the flipkart.com website. I am a direct visitor. I access page 1, I access page 2, page 3. Then I say, okay, wow, nice. This is the mobile which I am going to buy. But how many times it happens that you just like the product and you buy it? No, it doesn't happen immediately. You just say, okay, I'm going to buy it. Let me do another some sort of research, etc. So I like the product. But all of a sudden I realized that one of my friend has already bought it and he got some 10% discount and he is yelling about it on his Facebook post saying that how smartly he got the product at 10% off. What I do, I click on that link that he has shared in the Facebook post and I visit the Flipkart. What happened here? Now what's the source? I clicked on Facebook link and I visited. Now the source is social, right? Everyone agrees. Now source is social. Now my page view or my visit number 4 comes via social. 9:12 a.m. I click on the link in the Facebook and I come to the website. It is the same website, same product. It doesn't matter if the page is same or not. So what happened here? My source changed from direct to social. My session expires. So here my new session starts. Why my new session starts here? Because my source changed. My source changed from direct to social. Now, why is it important to expire the session here also? Because, of course, in reporting, you will get report like direct 300 sessions, social 25 sessions, paid 35 sessions. Now, how will Google tell you these numbers if they don't expire the sessions? You will also get report like direct gave you a revenue of $35,000. Social gave you a revenue of $12,000. How is that possible if I'm mixing direct and social traffic together? Hence, it is important that when the source changes, your session also changes. Clear here? All these three conditions, are we clear? I will take few more examples to discuss the session part in detail. Okay, now let's take example, and if you can answer this, well and good. We can say our today's time well spent. Let's take example of flipkart.com. 8 a.m. in the morning, I visit home page. 8:02 a.m. I visit page 2, and then 8:05 I visit page 3, 8:29, or let's say I visit home page again, 9 o'clock I visit page 2 again, let's say 9:15 I visit page 4. Here what happens is I see email that Flipkart has sent me and I click on that email, and at 10:22 I visit the flipkart.com again, but this time because of click on email that I did. Okay, then 25, page 5, 1037, page 6. This is what all activities I have done throughout my day. Then I decide to visit and see what are user reviews on my product that I am going to buy. What people are saying about the phone that I am going to purchase. So before sleeping, I decide I should read it. So at 11:55 p.m., I visit page 6 again to see the reviews. I'm spending time, and then 11:59 p.m. I move to page 7, 12:02 a.m. I move to page 8. Then I decide to sleep. Now here tell me how many users, how many page views, how many sessions do I have in one single chat. Tell me three numbers. Don't answer separately. You can just tell me 10, 20, 30. Like this. In one single chat, tell me how many users, how many page views, how many sessions this user gave us. I will give you guys a minute more. There are many answers and there are different answers. That's another good thing. Niyati, if you can answer all three things in one single chat, that will be helpful. One common thing, everyone agrees there is a one user. Now the difference is among page views and session. Some of you are saying 112.6, some of you are saying 1512, 112.4. Let's evaluate what exactly is happening here. So this is not a right answer. This was dummy one. I'm going to erase it. Now let's see what's happening here. Everyone here agrees that we had only one single user because client ID remains the same across, so we have only one single user. Now how many page views and how many sessions this particular user gave us? Let's say page views, sessions. This is my page view number 1. This is my session number 1 as well. Okay, I came to my web flipkart.com in the morning. I started a fresh session. So this is my session number 1. This is my first page view, my home page. So this is page view number 2. So I move to the second page. I'm still part of the same session. Why? Because there is just gap of 2 minutes. No other criteria or not any criteria has met here for session to expire. Now page view number 3, I'm still part of session 1. No condition is met. Page view number 4, will I be in the first session or second session here? Is there any condition that has met? Yes, I will be still part of first session. Good guys, very good. I will be part of still the first session because what condition has met here, Varun? Do you see out of 3 conditions that we discussed, any condition we have met for session to expire? 8:05 to 8:29 a.m. It's a gap of 24 minutes, not more than 30. Good, Varun. Now, the next is page view number 5. What what's happening here with session? Do you see any interesting here? Very good, guys. 8:29 to 9:31 minutes. That means at 8:58, I guess, or 8:59, the session got expired. Anything you do after that is part of session number 2. So session number 2 has started here. Then we have page number 6, still session number 2. We have another page view. Now here something interesting is happening. Here we have page view number 7. What's happening with the session? This is session number 3 for sure. What's the reason? Here you will see interestingly there are 2 criterias which are meeting. There is definitely 30 minutes of inactivity. 9:15 to 10:22 user was inactive for 1 hour, plus the source also changed. There are 2 conditions which are meeting here. Now this doesn't mean that there is session 3 and 4th now which has started, because there are 2 conditions which are meeting. It is just plus 1. 2 plus 1, third session has started. Because 2 conditions are met, 1 hour of rather 30 minutes of inactivity, and even the source has also changed. Everyone clear till page view number 7? Yes, no, quickly. Good. Next is page view number 8. Still be session number 3. Sorry. It will be 3. Page view number 9. Still 3. Page view number 10. What's happening here? 4. Right. Why? 30 minutes of inactivity. Look at the time difference from AM to PM. More than 30 minutes of inactivity. Page view number 11. Still part of session number 4. Now page view number 12. What's happening here? Midnight ends the session. So this is part of session number 5. Clear? So your answer should be, in given example, in given scenario, we had 1 user, 12 page views, and 5 sessions. 1, 12, 5. Congratulations if your answer is right. If it was not, I hope after all this discussion, you now agree why the answer is 1, 12, and 5. Good. So this guy gave us 4 sessions on this particular day, and he gave 1 session on this particular day. Total 1, 12, and 15. Fantastic, guys. So this is all what I wanted to discuss with you. As I told you, if you now understand why this is 1, 12, and 5, we have spent a good day together. If you don't understand, please ask me in the chat box. While you are doing that, I'm going to share the feedback link with you. Here is your feedback link. I'm opening this session for question and answers. Guys, I say this always, I'm saying again, I take feedback seriously. Please spend time on feedback. If things are going good, mention that. That's a pat on my back. If things are not going good, please mention that also. That's a important feedback to improve my delivery part. You do have assignment. You have to solve your assignments on your own. I don't discuss solution of assignments in the class, but what I discuss, if you have doubts about the assignments, if you are not able to crack the assignments, I will help you to solve it. But I will not solve your assignment. The purpose of giving you assignments will be defeated if I solve it on your behalf. Spend time on the assignments. If you do not get something, I am there to help you. Download the assignment from the LMS, learn what the assignment is about, solve it. If you are not able to solve it, do not panic, do not worry. I am here to help you. But I want you to take efforts, spend time on reading, spend time on solving, because that is what is going to help you. Trust me, I will still get paid if you do the assignment, don't do the assignment. But as a mentor, as a trainer, I know the assignments will help you. I know this is the right thing for you to do. So please spend time on the assignments. Kristen, yes, we are done. This is all what I wanted to discuss. Now I'm waiting for your questions. If you have, please use this time to ask the questions, and please complete the feedback. There is another link which I have shared. People who missed this link last week, please feel free to share the info. Hey Kristen, have a nice flight. Happy journey. Good night, Parul. And thanks for the feedback. Good night, Pallavi. Thanks for the feedback. Mamta, Saranya, Mulya, Vivek, Niyati, good night. Thank you for your feedback. Good night, Ankur. So I believe there are no questions which are pouring in. So please complete the feedback, and then we will meet again, guys, next Tuesday, and we will continue our discussion around web analytics. Till that time, have a nice weekend ahead. Enjoy your time. Please spend some time reading about web analytics. Till that time, take care. Bye bye.